Welcome, you're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. Recently, a conference called Modernization and Improvement of Road Safety in Ukraine was held in Kyiv. It has been discussed whether it is necessary to strengthen control over the observance of traffic rules and what new laws should be adopted to help reduce the accident rate in Ukraine. To talk more about this, we're joined in the studio today by Oleksiy Biloshytskiy. He is the first deputy head of the patrol police in Ukraine. Hello, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
So tell us all about the conference. What were the most important issues discussed during the event?
Definitely the conference was very fruitful and had a lot of input from all the participants, but of course we couldn't have discussed all of the topics and all of the needed questions because the time was, short, and everyone wanted to speak, and of course we could cover only the major points.
Which were?
The whole point of having that conference and all the other events that we had was about the new amendments to the legislation that are, to our mind, are to be passed by the Verkhovna Rada in the nearest future. Because, as you may know, almost a year ago, or roughly a year ago, the Minister of Internal Affairs has proposed a package of amendments to the legislation in the sphere of road safety that is actually targeting the most crucial problems in the sphere. So this package, to my humble opinion, will help us to really solve very important issues and make a few very big steps in the direction of controlling the road safety. So the package was was targeting different spheres, and some amendments that were in that package went through already and were passed by the Cabinet of Ministers, because some of them were on the level of the Cabinet of Ministers, so they have passed them a long time ago, in the beginning of the year. So and those are the speed measure, the speed limit in the cities, 50.
Is this the first thing on the list that needs to be implemented to make the road safety in Ukraine more, to make the roads in Ukraine safer?
Road safety system is a very complicated stuff, and it is connected, it is being interconnected with different spheres and different organizations, and a lot of different partners and players and a lot of stuff that have to be unified and have to work together to achieve results. If we're talking about legislation, then this package that was proposed by the minister is something that, we can say, that will give us a very big push to unite over something and to make some real changes in Ukraine, in the road safety of Ukraine.
In terms of legislation?
Yes.
Okay.
And if we have the needed legislation, of course we can move forward with all the other means. And of course we have to say a few words about this legislation and what am I talking about. So the draft law has number 7286. So it was submitted to the Rada by, as I told you, by the Cabinet of Ministers, because the package was presented by the Minister of Internal Affairs to the Cabinet of Ministers, and the Cabinet of Ministers have approved that and submitted it to the Rada. So this very package addresses very important issues that patrol police also has experienced during these 3.5 years. For example, as you may know, we have a very serious issue with DUI, driving under influence, in Ukraine. For example, and explaining a little bit, in the year 2016, we have together with the members of parliament, we have raised the fine and the fine of this article number 130 in our code, the punishment for the driving under influence. It was 3,200 hryvnias, and maybe the driver's license could be or could not be taken away. Yes, but right now it is 10,200 hryvnias fine, and the driver's license is being taken away for sure.
After that, those changes have been implemented. I'm sorry, I just need to ask this. After those changes have been implemented, by how many percent did the number of drivers under influence on Ukrainian road reduce?
This is a very good question, but I cannot answer it in percentage. But as I said, the amendments were in 2016, but in 2017 we have more than 114,000 people that we have only documented driving under influence. So it is just whom we caught, as if I may say so. Why are the numbers so big? Because apart from the severe punishment, or let's say relatively severe punishment, we have the loopholes in the legislation that are allowing those cases to go, for example, allowing those people to go unpunished. For example, the court can close this case because, in the opinion of the court, I'm saying is just in simple words, this very offense could be viewed as something very minor, and the person can escape punishment on this very reason. It is stated in our code, in our administrative misdemeanors code.
So basically, correct me if I'm wrong, basically it looks like even though the fines are being risen, there is still a chance for those drivers who are irresponsible to escape responsibility.
Yes.
For doing wrong. Now, then what's the effect? What's the expected effect of raising the fines?
The legislation, the package we're talking about, the draft law 7286 is not targeting here in DUI. It's not targeting fines. It's targeting the loopholes that are allowing to escape. For example, the possibility of closure of the case because of the minor, let's say, offense. The second loophole is, for example, when the court can redirect the case to be viewed in the enterprise or organization where the person works. This is a very Soviet mechanism or procedure that was actually in the code, because the code is of 1984. So the Soviet procedures are still there, and they are being used by the courts still. So those two loopholes are targeted in this very draft law. Also, what we have in Ukraine is that with the reform of the national police and patrol police also, there are very, very defined cases when we can stop a car. So there is Article 35 of the in the law on the national police. There are stating 9 cases, and we cannot actually stop cars or do any other actions if the situation doesn't match that case. On the other hand, what we see and what we actually look forward to in the other country, for example, in our neighboring Poland, what we see that they always do preventive measures targeted on DUI, for example, issue.
Like what?
They call it Sober Monday. You know, when they stop all the cars in a certain spot and do a very quick drug test or alcohol test. And all the drivers know that there are those spots that there could be police officers and that all the cars could be stopped. In our case, in Ukraine, we don't have that in our minds because our drivers, those 114,000, to my mind, are thinking that I will drink a little bit, then I will drive my car straight home, I will not violate anything, and then the police will not see me and will not stop my car. So we don't have the preventive mechanisms to actually target the DUI driving.
What about the cameras that been working in a framework of a so-called pilot projects in Kyiv? They've been working since what, October 8th? And through those cameras, police officers, patrol police officers have been watching the situation with the traffic on the roads in Kyiv, and also with those who violate the rules of speeding, and not only speeding. There's a lot of people, from what I see every day, a lot of people take the lane for public transport all the time, and that results in traffic jams.
Well, if you are talking about true cams right now that we have launched almost a month ago,
I'm talking about true cams.
They are, as I told you, they are measuring speed. So, and we are actually taking actions against those who are violating. And
so what's happening if you've noticed a violator on a true cam? What happens next? Obviously the person drove off, right?
No, actually, I don't want you to mix it with the automatic system. This is not an automatic system. This TrueCam is just a means for measuring speed. So this is just a device we are using to measure the speed. So basically, when we actually target a car and see that it is speeding, that we see the violation, this car is being stopped on the spot, and the driver is being issued a ticket right on the spot. So in the automatic system, he would receive a letter or something, or like a notice, later when he comes home, or in a day or two. Here, it is being viewed by us and by law as regular procedure, and with all the other the same as all the other procedures, for example, parking or crossing the line. Or
have the true cams made the Ukrainian drivers more obedient with the speed limit?
Well, as I told you, it is less than a month that we are using the devices. So to have a good analytics and statistics, and we need a little bit bigger period, and to analyze at least a couple of months to say if there is influence or not. Right now it is a little early to say, but we have, if you want some statistics, we have more than 6,000 cases of speeding already registered by us with TrueCams. Even though we're doing that very publicly and very openly, because you know that we are using TrueCams only where the special sign precedes in on the road, so actually all the drivers know that the spot is there, that there is the sign. We have the map of all the locations published on our website, in our Facebook page, and we are not doing it as you know, from the bushes, like, you know, we are not using any covers. Moreover, there is always a car, the police car, present with blue lights on. If there are true cams installed, like nearby. So the true cams is always with being used where the police car is standing with lights on. So we're doing it very openly, but nevertheless we have more than 6,000 cases of speeding.
Okay, what about the number of road accidents? What is being done to reduce that?
Yeah, well, the number of road accidents is right now, I would say it is not being like raised.
It's not growing.
It's not growing, Ria, thank you, in comparison to the previous years, but still, to my mind, it is very high, and we are doing a lot of different stuff to actually diminish it. But as I told you, the road safety system is a combination of work and of actions from different parties, road services, like organization of road safety, different ministries, and different parties that have to act simultaneously and in cooperation to achieve results. From the part of Ministry of Internal Affairs and National Police, we're doing also the speed measurement, the automatic system of that is being developed right now, and we will see it in the nearest future. Moreover, right now by the Cabinet of Ministers, the Council for Road Safety was created, and a very big attention is dedicated to that question. Moreover, there is a unprecedented road safety fund that was established by the Cabinet of Ministers, and the Minister of Internal Affairs was one of the most prominent pushers in that in this sphere. So the road safety fund will also be working very soon, because it is being defined what has to be done, what has to be done this year, next year, and the year after next, and we will see some real actions in the future. And of course, right now the patrol police have more than 200 cars on the main national and international roads that are 24/7 controlling and monitoring everything that is going on the roads, and first of all helping the people who are the drivers and the people who are using those roads.
Thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you so much for coming and telling us all about it.
Thank you for having me.
That was Oleksiy Biloshytskiy. He is the first deputy head of the patrol police in Ukraine. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned with UATV for more.